What if I told you that the walls closing in on you aren't made of stone, but of solidified thought? You have spent years trying to pick the lock of your reality, waiting for permission to be happy, to be wealthy, to be free. But here is the terrifying and liberating truth. The door isn't locked from the outside. It is locked from within. You are not trapped in a physical world. You are trapped in a loop of your own assumptions. But there is a way out. There is a glitch in the simulation that the masters have known for centuries. By the end of this video, you will not just understand how to exit the maze. You will realize you built it. And if you built it, you can bring it down. You have been sleepwalking through a nightmare of your own making, believing that you are a victim of circumstance, a fragment of dust in a chaotic universe. But I am here to shake you awake. You must understand the metaphysical foundation, the distinction between the mask you wear and the being you truly are. The ego, that anxious, reactive personality you call by your name, is merely a garment. The true self is the I am, the unconditioned consciousness, the very God in action residing within your own imagination. This is not a metaphor. It is the literal structure of existence. When you say I am weak, the I am, which is the creative power, accepts that command and objectifies it in your world. You are the operant power, and until you withdraw your sense of self from the reactive ego and place it in the divine I am, you will remain a slave to shadows. You are not a person trying to wake up. You are God dreaming that you are a person. Look around you right now, at your walls, your bank account, your relationships, and realize that you are staring into a merciless mirror. The world is consciousness objectified. It has no power to generate events on its own, just as a mirror has no power to smile unless the one standing before it smiles first. Everything you see is a projection of your internal state, hardened into fact. You have been fighting the reflection, wiping the glass, trying to change people and events by force. But this is the height of madness. To change the world, you must leave the mirror alone and change the face you present to it. Your environment is nothing more than your own moods, assumptions, and beliefs pushed out into space. If you dislike what you see, do not break the mirror. Change your conception of yourself. This brings us to the iron law of internal causality. There is no secondary cause. There is no luck, no destiny written by another hand, and no external enemy stopping you. The state of consciousness you abide in is the sole cause of the phenomena of your life. Attempting to change your financial situation without changing your feeling of wealth is as futile as washing the mirror to clean your face. You must accept radical responsibility. You are the architect. Every rejection you have faced was your own feeling of unworthiness reflecting back to you. Every success was your own confidence materialized. The world is your servant, waiting for the command of your inner conviction. You must stop looking for signs on the outside and start generating the signal from the inside. Therefore, the command "focus on you until you win" is not an act of selfishness, but an act of salvation. Winning in this context means reaching the point where your ideal conception of yourself displaces your former limitations and hardens into solid fact. You must become so obsessed with your internal transformation, so devoted to tending the garden of your mind, that the weeds of the old self die from lack of nourishment. To focus on you is to withdraw your attention from the headlines, the gossip, and the evidence of the senses, and to place it entirely on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must persist in this new self-concept until the old man, the version of you that accepted failure, is utterly forgotten and dissolved. This requires a specific kind of loyalty to your own imagination. You must stand in the ideal state until it feels natural. Most people visit their dream like a guest. They visualize for 10 minutes and then return to the state of lack for the rest of the day. You must not be a guest. You must become the occupant. You must wear the new state of consciousness as you wear your skin. When the phone rings, you answer it as the new you. When you walk down the street, you walk as the new you. You do not wait for the external confirmation to validate your change. Your change in feeling is the only validation required. You focus on this inner shift until the outer world has no choice but to reshape itself around your new assumption. But that's only the surface. Now you must learn how to navigate the invisible. You must redefine your understanding of faith within the law of assumption. Faith is not a blind hope that something might happen in the future. Faith is the loyalty to the unseen reality of your assumption right now. It is the courage to deny the evidence of your senses when they scream lack, and to maintain the feeling of abundance. The senses are deceptive. They only report the past, the crystallized results of your yesterday's thoughts. To bow before the senses is to be trapped in the past. True faith looks at an empty bank account and feels the security of wealth. It looks at a diagnosis and feels the vitality of health. This is the fourth-dimensional thinking that collapses time and drags the future into the present moment. The most critical instruction is to completely ignore the how. The reasoning mind, which is built on past experiences, will always try to figure out the means of fulfillment, asking, "How will I get the money?" Or, "How will I meet this person?" This questioning is the killer of manifestation. The how is the business of the deeper, infinite intelligence within you. When you occupy the end, you compel the universe to construct a bridge of incidents, a series of events, coincidences, and encounters that will lead you inevitably to your desire. You may not see the bridge until you are walking on it. Your only job is to determine the what, the end result, and remain faithful to it. The how is already done in the potential of the subconscious. To make the invisible visible, you must master the technique of sensory vividness. It is not enough to merely think of the end. You must think from the end. You must enter the state of the wish fulfilled with all the tones of reality. In your imagination, you must utilize your spiritual senses. Touch the wedding ring on your finger. Smell the leather of the new car. Hear the specific voice of a friend congratulating you. These imaginary acts must be done with such intensity and naturalness that they feel solid. The subconscious mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one. If you can make the inner act feel real, the outer manifestation is mathematically certain. You must practice this until you reach the point of hallucinatory vividness, where the inner world feels more real than the chair you are sitting on. When you open your eyes after such an imaginal act, you should feel a shock, a jolt of disappointment that you are back in this limited room. That shock is good. It means you successfully moved into the state. You have impregnated the subconscious. You do not do this to make it happen. You do it to experience the possession of it now. The secret is to extract the joy and the feeling of reality from the imaginary act itself, so that you no longer hunger for it externally. When you are satisfied within, the shadow must appear without. This practice leads to the concept of living in the end. This is not a temporary exercise. It is a permanent dwelling place. You must sleep in the assumption, wake in the assumption, and eat in the assumption. If you are assuming you are a great leader, you cannot react to traffic with petty anger, for that contradicts your assumption. You must align your entire psychological machinery with the aim. You are not faking it till you make it. You are feeling it until you are it. The assumption, though false at the moment of its inception, if persisted in, will harden into fact. You are bending reality with the gravity of your own conviction. Now go deeper, for the mind must be disciplined with the precision of a surgeon. We arrive at the 3-day transformation technique, a radical fast for the soul. For 3 days, you must monitor your inner speech with the vigilance of a hawk. Day 1 is the day of initiation. You must catch every negative inner conversation, every "I can't," "I hope," "It's too hard," and slay it instantly. You must replace it with the speech of the wish fulfilled. Inner speech is the cause of all outer phenomena. If you say "I am successful" with your lips but your inner voice whispers "I am a fraud," you will manifest the fraud. On this first day, you must violently interrupt the old mechanical patterns of thought and install a new software of divine confidence. Day 2 is the day of normalization. Your new inner speech must shift from a forced affirmation to a natural, effortless dialogue. You are no longer fighting to believe. You are starting to assume the feeling as a habit. You must carry on mental conversations from the premise that your desire is already a fact. Hear your friends discussing your success. Hear yourself thanking them with genuine humility. The key here is naturalness. If the feeling is too ecstatic or explosive, it implies that it is rare or distant. You want the feeling of relief, of course. Wealth, health, and love must become your normal, natural atmosphere. You are normalizing the miracle until it feels like your everyday clothes. Day 3 is the day of acceptance and gratitude. By now, the struggle should cease. You enter a state of deep, resonant thank you. This is not a manipulative thank you to get something. It is the thank you of someone who has already received. You feel the relief of the burden being lifted. You walk through your day with a secret smile. knowing that the transaction is complete in the realm of mind. If doubts arise, you do not fight them. You simply laugh at them, for you have seen the end. You are vibrating in the frequency of the solution, not the problem. The mental work is finished, and you are now merely waiting for the curtain to rise. This follows the divine pattern of creation found in Scripture: declaration, acknowledgement, and gratitude. First, you say, "Let there be," declaration. Then you see that it was so, acknowledgement. And finally, you declare, "It is very good," gratitude. You must become the god of your own universe by following this sequence. Most people stay stuck in the begging phase, never moving to the acknowledgement that it is done. You must move from "I want" to "I have." The 3-day mental diet is not about time. It is about intensity. One moment of absolute conviction is enough, but the 3-day discipline breaks the addiction to the old timeline. If you slip, if the world drags you back, do not despair, for you have the ultimate tool. But this is where the master separates from the novice. You must master the art of revision. This is the most practical and powerful technique for changing the timeline. At the end of every day, before you sleep, you must review the events that occurred. If there was an argument, a rejection, or a moment of fear, you do not accept it as final. In your imagination, you rewrite the scene. You replay it, but this time, you rewrite the script. Instead of the argument, hear the apology. Instead of the rejection, hear the acceptance. By doing this, you are altering the memory, and since the present is the cumulative effect of the past, by changing the past, you change the structure of your future. You are pruning the vine of your life, cutting off the branches of illness and failure so they cannot bear fruit tomorrow. You must cultivate divine indifference. This is not the indifference of apathy or not caring. It is the indifference of the confident. It is a state of earnest expectancy without anxiety. When you know the end is secured, you are indifferent to the chaotic middle. If an obstacle rises, you do not panic. You see it as a shadow, a momentary delay, or even a necessary detour on the bridge of incidents. You do not react to the news. You do not react to the symptoms. You hold your ground. This indifference terrifies the ego, but empowers the spirit. You are like a king who knows his decree has been signed. The chaos of the servants does not disturb his rest. Reframing obstacles is essential. When you start to change your self-concept, the old world may seem to fight back. Problems may arise. You must define these not as barriers, but as the breaking up of the old structure. When you remodel a house, there is dust and noise before the new beauty is revealed. Do not mistake the dust of construction for the destruction of your dream. Every problem contains the seed of its own solution, if you remain in the state of the wish fulfilled. You must look at the obstacle and say, "This too is part of my success," and revise it instantly to fit your narrative. You must adhere to a strict mental diet. Just as you would not eat poison if you wanted to be healthy, you cannot consume toxic thoughts if you want to be successful. You must become a gatekeeper. If a thought of failure comes, you slam the door. If a friend starts to gossip or complain, you withdraw your attention. You are not being rude. You are being protective of your conception. Attention is the currency of the universe. Do not spend it on things you do not want to buy. Starve the negative states of their lifeblood, which is your attention, and they must wither and die. The ultimate mastery is to live in the world of Caesar while anchored in the world of God. You go to work, you pay your bills, you wash the dishes, but your inner head is in the heavens of your ideal state. You are in the world, but not of it. This dual consciousness allows you to navigate physical reality without being triggered by it. You know that the physical world is a delayed echo, and you stop shouting at the echo. You speak only to the source, which is your own wonderful human imagination. And finally, you reach the state where all effort dissolves into knowing. This brings us to the Sabbath rest. The Sabbath is not a day of worship. It is a psychological state of rest. It is the deep, internal knowing that it is finished. You cannot desire what you already have. When you have successfully impregnated your subconscious with the new state, the hunger for the result disappears. You feel a sense of peace, a stillness. You stop visualizing, you stop affirming, not because you gave up, but because you are full. The seed has been planted, and you do not dig it up every hour to see if it is growing. You rest in the confidence of the law. This rest is the surest sign that the manifestation is on its way. True detachment is often the most misunderstood concept. It is not detaching from the desire. It is detaching from the necessity of the desire to make you happy, and detaching from the control of the timing. You surrender the when. You know it is done, so you are not anxious about the timeline. You let go of the tight grip of control. You allow the universe to unfold the bridge of incidents in its own way. You are like a pregnant woman. She does not worry about how to form the baby's eyes or heart. She trusts the wisdom within her body to deliver the child in due time. You must trust the wisdom of your subconscious to deliver the desire. You must walk your own path, heedless of others. The speaker warns, "What is that to thee? Follow thou me." Do not compare your harvest to another's. Do not look at social media and wonder why they are ahead. Every person is a projection of your own consciousness. If you envy them, you are affirming that you do not have it. You must keep your eyes on your own furrow. Your journey is between you and your own I am. The timing of your harvest depends on the naturalness of your feeling. For some, it is immediate. For others, it takes time to make the feeling natural. Do not measure your spiritual progress by physical time. Persistence to naturalness is the final key. Persistence is not struggle. It is not forcing the door open. Persistence is the discipline of returning. Every time your mind wanders back to the old man, you gently bring it back to the new man. You do this 70 times, 7 times a day if necessary. You persist until the new state feels familiar, comfortable, and inevitable. You persist until you no longer feel like an imposter in your own dream. When the state becomes natural, the manifestation flows as easily as water down a hill. Ultimately, you must realize that there is no one to change but self. You focus on you until you win, because there is no one else playing the game. The world is an echo chamber. Scream love, and it returns love. Scream success, and it returns success. You are the operant power, the alpha and the omega of your reality. The simulation is not a prison. It is a playground of consciousness, and you have just remembered how to play. You have remembered that you are not the pawn, you are the player, and the game is already won. The simulation is over the moment you decide it is. You are no longer a character in the script. You are the writer holding the pen. The mirror has no choice but to smile back when you smile first. The old version of you is dead. Leave it in the tomb. The new you, the winner, is the only reality that matters now. I have a question for the creator within you. What is the one assumption you are going to hold on to today, no matter what the world says? Write it in the comments as a decree. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because you are waking up, and we are just getting started. Click the next video now. Your expansion continues there.